My wife doesn't feel like my wife anymore. I want to take her to the hospital.
You need to be fixed.
You need to be fixed. Your brain ain't braining. My wife, female, 26, weighs 104 pounds and is 5'6". Takes
40.
Zepbound, 10 milligrams, fluvamixin, 100 milligrams, and occasionally trazodone, 50 milligrams for sleep. She was prescribed Zepbound. Are these real names? For weight loss. Moving to maintenance shot soon, while the Luvox is for her OCD. The trazodone is for insomnia caused by her OCD. That is the list of prescriptions. Write the list. She has been doing okay with her Luvox though she still struggles sometimes. She's been taking it for about 3 weeks now, which before she was on Lovavaxatin for 50 milligrams for about 6 weeks. By the way, this comes from Best23819. If you want to submit your own stories, go to r/OKStorytime subreddit. So last night, while rocking our son, the Blink camera in his room started blinking green. She texted me and told me to unplug it, and also our daughters. After laying him down, she started freaking out about the technology in her house. She said they were watching her children, that the cameras needed to be ripped off the walls. I tried to reason with her, but she had this crazy look in her eye and asked if I was working with them. Then for the next 30 minutes, she went around and unplugged all our technology, TVs, Google Home, took cameras off, etc. She's going full tin hat mode, and then put them in a box to hide them in the bathroom. She then hid herself in the bathroom and wouldn't come out until I told her I believed her. That's crazy. That's a little crazy. I coaxed her upstairs and she told me she could see people in bed, but they weren't scary. Okay, she's going, this is a little wacko. This is a little wackadoodle. She also said she could hear people walking, and while she was downstairs, someone kept walking up behind her. Shortly after, she fell asleep. However, I woke up this morning and she had moved to the couch. This morning, she seems out of it, but remembers most of last night. She said she's still scared that she didn't feel in control of her body last night and basically is drawing in on herself. That seems like, maybe time for hospital. I almost called 911 last night because I was worried she was going to try and take the kids. I'm still worried because what was that? Is she safe? Is she okay? Should she go to the hospital even if she feels normal now? It all happened out of the blue. We got some comments. Kelmanak says, yes, go to the hospital, full stop. Tell them the meds she is taking along with any recent medications changes. She is having a psychotic episode and it can be treated in the hospital. What do you think, John? There's more to this story. Yeah. There's more comments, but do you think OP should take her to the hospital?
Yeah, I mean, literally, what an insane thing to have to deal with where your partner's just doing all that and you're like, what's going on? Why are you behaving like that? I 1,000% think you should, just to be, safe rather than sorry, because you never know if it's going to be what exactly is going to happen. What do you do? Go to the professionals, and like he said, think about the kids. The fact that the kids are involved here makes it even more, hey, what's going on?
Yeah, I mean, you really yes, she has her autonomy and can do, what she wants, but also, yeah, like you said, when your kids are involved, you gotta act quick.
Yeah. You get help.
And get help. She's having a psychotic episode and it can be treated in the hospital. Don't let this just self-resolve at home when there are children around, as she shouldn't be trusted with them currently. Uncle Jack says 100% this. She might not be happy about it at first, but this is the best thing you can do for her health and for the safety of your family. Do not accept no in this instance. The sooner it's addressed, the better the chance of a good outcome. It is not her fault, but she is not herself, and psychosis can lead someone to completely wreck every aspect of their life until she is treated. Do not leave her alone with the children. OP says, will the docs take her in even if she seems okay? She's not talking about being watched anymore, but I do have her upstairs trying to nap, as she said her mind won't be quiet for her to sleep last night. Yeah, she needs help.
Yeah, 100%.
I've messaged her psychiatrist already while I try to keep the kids quiet. We're hours away from family, but I'm going to call them anyway to have them head up here to help with kids so I can help her. And then Neolithic says, please, OP, listen to this advice and take her to the hospital. A close family friend exhibited similar symptoms after giving birth, and one day her husband came home to the baby lying in the bathtub crying while she was huddled in the corner having a full-blown conversation with Jesus, who apparently was in her toothbrush.
Oh my.
Yikes. That could have ended badly.
Yeah.
Could have ended very badly. Luckily, the child was not injured, and she ended up getting better only because her husband got her medical help. Postpartum psychosis is not a life sentence unless you ignore it. And OP responds, first of all, thank you everyone for the advice and concerns and well wishes. All right, at least OP is kind of taking the advice. Good. She tried to take a nap, but couldn't fall asleep. She said she feels anxious and slightly paranoid, but otherwise okay. However, she's very scared of it happening again, and she said it feels like someone else controlled her. I'm getting ready to leave to drop her off at our psychiatric hospital. She's very worried about what will happen there, but if you are the praying type, the good vibes type, or whatever it is you do to wish well on people, it would be appreciated for her. I hate leaving her, but last night was terrifying for both of us. I want her to get the help she needs and be okay. Okay, it seems like OP's taking the necessary precautions.
I feel for OP, especially in the first moment, because I feel like any of us would be so thrown off because you're like, what is happening right now? It would take like a beat to click in, but it seems like he's making the moves. He's getting there. Get her help. Try to get someone to watch the kids, and then you can be there with her in the hospital and figure out what's going on.
Yeah. Mundane Wallaby 6608 says the prospect of staying at a psychiatric facility can be scary, but I'm sure knowing she has a partner who cares about her and loves her and is nearby will help. Just know that if she ends up inpatient, it can take a while for a bed to open up, but generally means sitting in the ER for a while. We got an update one day later. Again, thank you all so much for the outreach of help and concern. It truly is amazing and gave me so many resources while we've been talking to doctors and everything. First, for the good news. My wife is okay.
Great.
She is going to be okay. She got admitted into our psychiatric hospital for a few days to start some treatment. That includes new medicine, counseling, getting established with an in-person psychiatric and therapist. The doctors at the ER were amazing with her, and she got to call me from the hospital phone.
Wow.
Amazing. To let me know she's feeling safe. That is great.
Yeah. Honestly,
Hearing her voice, though, I can tell she was tired, but was amazing. The doctors and nurses on the phone were telling me how good it was. She came voluntarily, that our support system at home was good, and that so far she was being a cooperative and pleasant patient. I haven't had any childcare yet as our family is driving up here to help our children. However, I was able to get on the phone to listen to what the thoughts of the psychiatrists are. Unbeknownst to me, my wife told the doctors that she has had an increase in paranoia and auditory hallucinations over the last weekish. Wow. She has told me different times this week how on edge she feels, but never explained further. I feel awful for not having noticed before. Don't put that on you, OP.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard enough for someone to know themselves. And I don't know if you're fully prepared for all this, but maybe this can be a learning lesson for how you can be with this.
And again, can't put it on yourself.
Can't put it on yourself, yeah. A psychiatrist told me she was at the right age for mood and thought disorders to start developing, specifically schizophrenia, but that normally one wouldn't realize until after their first episode of psychosis. Most people apparently don't even go to the ER after their first episode, brushing it off as a one-time thing. Obviously, I want to do more tests to get an image of her head with tons of blood work and more doctors. It sounded to me that that's what they were leaning towards, which I will not lie, scares me, as the only thing I know about that is from TV or movies. She told me there was medication that can really help manage that, and they wanted to start her on antipsychotics. She can have visitors tomorrow, and I'm bringing her all her favorite comfy clothes, no strings or zippers, and I will sit with her once family gets home. I miss her so much. This is, from a really hard situation. This kind of turned out pretty well.
They're growing together. This is a way of OP being there for her and show, if anything, I feel like at least their bond and relationship has strengthened, and she probably feels like, oh wow, okay, I feel kind of safe and secure in my husband's hand, and the husband is like, okay, I'm going to be here for wife, and we're going to work through this together.
If anything, this might have brought you guys closer. It seems like OP knows a little bit more about his wife, right? So it's yes, this is a really hard situation, but wow, this
at least
is
a silver lining there.
Silver lining for sure. Again, I want to thank this community so much for urging me to get her seen, even though she seemed fine. Y'all are lifesavers. For those who have similar stories, I see you, and I hope you or your loved one is doing okay. Thank you again. We got some comments with OP's responses. BB Monster says, I'm so glad your wife is getting the help she needs and deserves to have. I've been a psych nurse for over a decade and have also been inpatient in a psychiatric facility, and I have perspective from both the patient and staff sides of the wristband. Item suggestions: soft, comfy clothes with no strings, buckles, clasps with sharp edges, or possibly zippers. Each facility's policies are different. Light reading paperbacks, adult coloring books with coloring pencils or markers if allowed, crossword books, Sudoku, word find books, etc. Stuff to keep the brain engaged, but not too taxing intellectually. A journal or other writing space for processing emotions. Her treatment team will probably continue to reach out to you to come up with a safety plan for when she goes home and how you two can work together as a team to keep her safe. This This is amazing. This means encouraging medication compliance, attending follow-up appointments, and kind of pretty much what you were doing before, just kind of keeping an eye out to see if anything feels off to you. You may notice behavior changes as she learns new/different coping mechanisms and groups, etc., while hospitalized, and integrates those into her life post-hospitalization. She'll probably also still be adjusting to medications/med changes, so she may need a lot more sleep. Healing brains take up a lot of energy. Please try to be mindful of both these things. That said, you are also going through a time of it walking this path with her. Please give yourself grace, which I think OP definitely needs to give himself. With her, please give yourself grace. It feels like you're not living up to your usual standards. Please make sure to engage in self-care. We got some more stuff, but wow.
I mean, incredible advice.
Incredible advice.
Yeah.
I think they're really like the comments for once are nailing it on the head.
Thank God.
Thank God. Quest for Starfish says, I've been wondering about your wife since your original post. Thank you for the update. It's fantastic that she's okay. You did all the right things in noticing she was not herself, asking for help, and following through by getting her to the right place. Take it day by day. We have lots of very effective treatments nowadays, so she'll get back to herself with those and with support and love of the family. Best of luck. And wow, happy ending. But that is where that story ends.